Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys? I'm late. Sorry. I was on a call with one of my coaching clients and we were just wrapping up our call. She is in the process of in the process of calling in her child, and she's doing all the things, right? All the things like the supplements and the diet and all the things. And we spent the last 30 minutes talking about imagination and playfulness. That's what I think is actually the final missing, if there is a missing piece. Like, I think her and I are working under the assumption, and I recommend this to all of you guys, working under the assumption that what if there is nothing else to fix? What if there is nothing broken? What if everything I'm doing is enough and is right? And so, but still maybe sometimes there's some tweaks. And so we got onto this piece about, just like linear thinking versus imagination and playtime. And that I do think we're all missing that too. We get so focused on like how much CoQ10 and how much fish oil, and do I eat grains? Do I not eat gluten? Do I have dairy? And am I moving? Am I sleeping? Am I having sex at the right time? All the things. And we're kind of forgetting this playful imagination part. So to start with that, but also not to forget why I'm here. I'm here for the Fertility Hot Seat today. And that is when one of you get to ask to join me live. So anybody who wants to ask now. Start asking. I'm going to let a couple people come through. You ask to join live here, and I'm going to bring you on live, and you're going to share your story, and I'm going to give you 15 minutes of guidance and support from me, someone who is not a medical doctor, but is in the field of helping women get and stay pregnant. And I've been doing it now. This is officially 17 years. This month, I'm 17 years in clinical practice. I did write this best-selling book, Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. And it has helped a lot of women. And so this Fertility Hot Seat happens every other Monday at 2:00 Eastern Time. And one of you gets to request to join live with me. I'll bring you on. And we do 15 minutes where I give you a fertility consult. So let's see, who wants to come on live? Who wants to be the next woman of service to her community and share her story and let others know that they are not alone, and then in the same token get some, I think, valuable advice from me on what you can do to shift things, to optimize your health, your fertility, your well-being, so that you can get and stay pregnant. There's a lot of you watching, so who's gonna join and ask? Let me see. Sometimes Facebook takes a second to load. Let's see. I'm gonna wait. Can I join? Yes, you can. Anybody can join. So you have to hit the button that says request to join Aimee live. There should be a little button next to you somewhere. I think I'm live, so I can't see where the button is. There we go. Someone just sent one in. Okay, I have some requests coming through. Okay, now we got here. This always happens every time. Okay, we're gonna do it with, looks like Becky Steele. I'm gonna send the request to you, and you're gonna come live with me. I'm waiting for Becky. Let's see what happens. Connecting.
Oh my God. Oh, it's me. Okay.
It's you. Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I never get these things. So thank you for having me.
Well, here you are. Today's your lucky day. No.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, thanks for being you.
Oh,
really, it's been life's crazy, but
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling some support come through this virtual world. So I appreciate hearing that. Yeah.
Sorry, day off. We own a restaurant, so it's my day off. So I'm in my jam still.
Good for you. Good for you. So where are you? Tell me what's going on.
So my situation's an odd one. So now I'm 41, always been a healthy period, never took the pill, grew up very spiritually, so I'm not a medication person. And then out of the blue, when I was 35 years old, my period stopped. No, nothing. Just, and then right from that day, I've been very proactive about the situations. I feel really good about that. And I know you talk, like I've read Spirit Babies and I read it a long time ago actually, and I'm in a, so now our only choice after 5 years of figuring things out is donor egg. But I don't know, I feel like I don't give up hope on the miracle because that's just how I was raised. But
Yeah.
I don't know, when I think I'm doing everything right. Like I love the drinking thing you did the other night because I'm like, you know, I am doing that right because I don't drink a lot, but I drink when I'm high on life and I feel good and we've had a good night at the restaurant. And so I feel like everything is, I don't understand, and I don't know. My husband.
Again, you said you feel like you're doing everything right. I lost your volume for a second.
I think so. I don't, do you just give up?
So tell me what's going on. Has a cycle hasn't reestablished?
No, and I tried everything and it's crazy. Like I don't know why at one age in your life it can just stop. Apparently it's like 1% get it or something.
And then what are your hormones? Are they?
I don't know. Like I'm a pretty chill, I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't, like I've been tested. She always tells me every time, well, do you want the good news? You're so healthy.
Okay.
So
and so then when they go in, do they see follicles in you or do they see
nil? But I know those words sometimes I don't always, because then you get in your head like yes, but nil. They were, yeah.
Okay. And do you have, I mean, now we're going to get like a little TMI for public, but like,
you can go, I don't
have
mind.
like vaginal dryness, any pain with sex?
So when I was diagnosed with this, she said, I want you to go on hormone replacement. And I was like, oh, I've never taken medication in my life, really. Like, and she's like, well, for your bones. And so I kind of fought it. And then I started taking, I don't know for you guys. Yeah, it's a bit different in America, but it's estrase and prometrium. So she wants me to bring on a period every 2 months. And then I take the 1 milligram estrogen every day.
Okay. And that works. It brings on a period?
Yeah, this month, this is the weird one now. So we're getting things rolling with the donor. And then I did the 10-day prometrium. She said I need to do a sonogram where they stick the wand up. Yeah. And she said, so you have to call me your first day of your period, which usually happens about a week after the prometrium, and nothing yet. I don't, is that a sign? I don't know. And then
I think one thing is like, I think what you should do is like break it up of like, the uterus is timeless. It just needs some hormonal support, like to thicken up a lining in order to be able to receive, you know, if you were to do the donor thing. So like, I almost would like not get too heady about that. You know what I mean? Like they can bring on a period, they can create the environment that they would need for a donor cycle. So like, I think that's almost like one side of it, to just say like, that is something that, my body can be manipulated into doing, if you will, you know, because it's harder to manipulate it into regularly ovulating and menstruating again if it hasn't done that for a while, but it can be restored. And I have girls that are doing the exact same thing of like, they do the estrase for half the cycle, then the prometrium the second half, and it does seem to start to stimulate a cycle again, right? It almost like tricks the body into doing it.
Yeah, because I can feel a little twingy sometimes on like one of the sides, but then I get excited and then I think, well, maybe it means nothing. I don't know.
Yeah. The girls are asking any diagnosis. So I would assume the diagnosis is premature ovarian failure, right at the age of 35.
Yeah.
So, and that's, you know, so do you have symptoms of menopause, if you will? So going back to that, so the estrase and the prometrium seem to keep you at bay. You don't have dryness, no hot flashes.
What? No, but yes, but I had a Reiki session the other day and she's like, I don't know if you should be, because I kind of was fighting to get off I was like, no, I'm going to try this natural. And then she said, yeah, I don't think you need the medication. But then I did feel like crap, like
Yeah.
shit, when I wasn't on it for a few days. So then that made me think again. I'm like, oh, great. It's like, so I don't, and I know my diet, I think everything's good. I'm married to a chef. So I feel lucky that like he's from Switzerland. So we eat a lot of healthy, our restaurant's all farm to table. So,
Okay.
but then we work
So
really
lots of
hard.
good protein and vegetable. And then how
Yeah.
about supplements? Like the one thing too is like making sure you're upwards of like 3 grams a day on fish oil, even if you're eating enough fish, I think, because that's so nourishing. Maca is something else too that I think could be helpful to kind of just Amy's diet and supplement regime would really help egg reserve. Yeah, no, I mean, I think of course, and it sounds like you're doing it. So but maybe, really check yourself too, of like do an actual food diary, count your protein, like follow your macros of like what you're eating on average too, to just kind of keep you in sync with that. I would always say, the bone broth, make sure that's in on a daily basis, enough fish oil. Maca might be very helpful to just kind of, because it's a very malleable substance. It kind of does whatever the body needs it to do hormonally. This is at least what I'm learning from my doctor friends at the Dutch. But there is one by NHI is the brand, and it's called I think Maca Pause or Feminescence. That might be something helpful to just like have in your system. And there's also like I've seen doctors where FSH is really high and the woman appears menopausal regardless of her age, and they use the birth control pill to manipulate FSH lower to then be able to get some eggs out and see if that is, but it's like if that's an option. But it sounds like, I mean, what's your space? How do you feel about the donor situation? Or do you feel like you want it to just happen? I mean, of course, you want it to just happen the good old fashioned way and just end it and call it a day, right?
I don't know. I feel like I should try it because I have a good chance, she says, and I feel not that I want to do it for everyone that doesn't have a chance at all, but some women, there's nothing. So I feel like I have been given a little bit of a chance. I'm just weird because it feels like you just pick something off Amazon. Like that's the weird part about it. And sometimes you get like, it's hard. It's like, I feel for women that's like, my dream, like I traveled a bit and then started a restaurant and worked. Like not everyone was able to have kids right at 25 and it just, you feel like you're being punished sometimes for waiting. And then you see shitty people having kids and you're like, so I hope, and I want to be a success for people too, because I hate when people give up, but I feel like maybe I just want the universe to say, stop trying, you're good, you're gonna lynch. I don't know. What does Chinese medicine say about premature ovarian? Like, does it mean something? Like it?
Not really. Like we don't have that diagnosis. Like we usually like correlate it back to like there was some, trauma that happened or a stressful event or something like that. But we do say it's like essence, has been depleted, and but we do believe it can be restored. And so, it's just like the wheels got rusty and, like ways to restore it, that kind of thing. And so, I mean, could stress be playing a role, or just even like I've had girls with that diagnosis reverse it. Like I've had that, but the trauma of getting that diagnosis really needs to be looked at and unpacked, because it's like a sledgehammer, right? I mean, it really just knocks your fucking socks off. And so, that I think is really worthy of looking into. And then I think also though, like, I think regardless of what you choose to do, I think it's going to be the exact right path for you. You know what I mean? And I want you to trust that and not beat yourself up. And, I mean, there's layers of trauma in there, because how do you not go and start second guessing yourself? Like, why didn't I do this sooner? I should have tried sooner. I should have done this. I should have done that. Like, what did I do wrong? Why is it my fault? Versus, I think from the spiritual perspective of just saying, but this is where I'm at right now. Okay. And so these are my choices. Do I still, I want to pursue motherhood. This looks like a pretty viable option. Am I willing to do it? I think like forgiving your body is probably a big piece in here too, of saying, you know, is there a part that you're mad at your body, you feel like it abandoned you or failed you, right? You know, and so that piece in there is really important to look at. And so I think from a Chinese medicine perspective, we're always looking at that and like unpacking that. And I mean, I can see too, the emotion is in there. So it's like, no matter what, however you get to this child, I think it's so worth it for you to work on that piece of just like forgiveness and like self-love, and also saying, I do think it's fair to say, you know, from what you're telling me that like, but I really show up for myself in all these beautiful ways, and I support myself, and I have, you know, have tried a lot of different things, and maybe there's still resistance. You know, the donor means like accepting, I suppose women see it as like accepting that it's not going to work with your eggs, right? You know, so like there maybe is some accepting failure in that, even though I don't see it as a failure by any means.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's choice is everybody's choice, and I think that's amazing and beautiful, however you get there. So it's working on that piece a bit too of like, is this really failure? You know what I mean? Like that term, the diagnosis just sucks, right? So it's like, but is it really failure? Or is this just like, all right, this is just my body decided to do, but I'm still healthy in this way and in this way and in this way. And amazing that modern medicine exists. And so if I see this as an option, right? And it is kind of like you are shopping for an egg, but you do get to line some things up. You're outside the US, right? So it's a little more like anonymous.
Yeah, I'm in Canada, but I love you guys and I love America. So with the donors in America, so I feel like that's kind of nice because we love America and we go often there, and you guys are so friendly. So what do you think about donor? I know it's hard to like give an opinion, but
I think you borrow a couple cells from somebody and the rest is up to you. You know, I really do. And I've had girls do it, and they're always here. They're always like, is it right? Did I not do it? And like within months of being pregnant, they're like, this is my baby on every level. Like you just like, you feel it, you own it. And I do. I mean, I think a lot of the, you know, you're in America, at least you have to do like a psych eval type of thing, or work with a, you know, a psychologist at the reproductive center. And what I hear that they say all the time is you're just borrowing a few cells from another woman. You're just getting a jump start. And, you know, it's still going to be your husband's sperm. Most likely some women do donor embryos too. I think that's perfectly fine as well. You know, but the vessel is really important. So even if I'm working with a woman who's planning to do donor, I still will do the diet and the supplements and the mindset.
yeah, I have your book.
Is still supremely important, right? And in nature versus nurture. So I've never seen a woman go through it and regret I've never seen that ever. Like they're as happy as any other mom I've ever seen, you know. And in fact, like I have some of my girls that are like, you know, as open about it as possible, others that don't want to talk about it. But like, you know, I have one girl, in fact, it was on one of these that she came up, and I connected her with another girl, and I'm sure if she's not even on here right now, but I'm sure I could connect you with her. And she's so proud of that decision. And she was in her mid 40s, kept miscarrying, and she was just like, I'm done. I just don't want to do this anymore, but I want children. And they wound up transferring one donor embryo, and it divided, and she got identical twin girls from it, and they're so perfect. I mean, they're like 5 now. They're adorable and so sweet, and she's a great mom, and she loves it, and she's never regretted the decision, you know. So but I think too, you want to give yourself permission of like that doing this doesn't mean your body's a failure. I think that's like the biggest piece that is coming through for me, for you. It's like, it doesn't mean failure at all. It actually means like, I think tenacity, resourceful, you know, accepting support. And it's just like my one patient who they adopted, her husband was having a hard time with the adoption idea. And, she said to him, but we adopted our dog and you're so in love with him. Like he's such a member of the family, you know, and that helped her husband a lot. Like he came right on board after that. He was like, oh my God, you're totally right. You know, that I think there's a million ways babies can get here, you know, but you still are taking care of you in the process. And you also never know. I mean, pregnancy does amazing things for the body and resets things. You know, I mean, I think there are also like magicians out there in the world of reproductive medicine that like can get the FSH to lower using some medications and get some follicles out of women that were told that wasn't possible, and sometimes get an embryo, and it can work. um, it's a lot of ups and downs, and I don't know if you have that in, you know what I mean. It's almost like I feel like you want permission to do the donor, and I'm giving you permission. It's like,
Well, I guess I am tough. We like my husband, he's from Switzerland, so we've had like that's been a challenge getting these. So like everything it seems in my life is like, but it's okay. I'm always like, I guess I wouldn't want it any other way, but yeah, I just and I
you
think
want to eliminate the obstacles, like you're done with the obstacles, right?
Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, can one thing come easy? But it's okay. I'm healthy, and I know a lot of people are having worse time right now. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's it too.
I listen
like I appreciate that you what's the word I want to say, like, or an empath, and you're thinking of everyone else, but I also think you have every right.
That's probably my problem too sometimes with the
right to be
restaurant.
selfish too, of like, this does suck. You should say that, like, this is shitty. Who wanted that diagnosis at 35? That sucks. That sucks. You want a family. And you've been trying and showing up. And so it's like, I think you have to, and no matter what, wherever women are on the journey, whether they're adopting or donor, or they're walking away, or they're just still mourning that it didn't happen as easily as it's happening. You have to mourn that. You have to give yourself permission to grieve that, and that it just, life isn't, it doesn't look exactly how you thought it would look, but it doesn't mean that it's wrong, and it doesn't mean that it's bad, right?
Yeah. So this is good because now I can move. Yeah. I always listen. You and Gabby are my two. Gabby Burns. Like I'm always doing my cards and divine timing, and I love what you say
too. And someone commented too that I want to highlight, of like, epigenetics. She still influences the baby no matter what, and they will be uniquely yours. And that is so true. Like the science is showing us now that you can put like 2 different eggs, like one egg in you and one egg in me, and the children are going to come out differently because of our influence as we grow. And so it really is a nature versus nurture argument, that sure, there's like a genetic predisposition that this embryo or this egg might be have, but that you're going to influence that too. So to I think, and also still the vessel, and even if you use the surrogate, it's still just like the home environment, all the things, so I don't want you to get too hung up on that. It really is like, I love the idea of just thinking of it as a jump start. It's just a jump start. And when like, I think it's not a hard no, it's a maybe for you, and you feel like this is a good chance. My doctor's giving me a chance here where I haven't necessarily been told I've had a chance in other departments. So it's like there's excitement there.
Right.
And I almost would like, don't be afraid to let yourself be excited about that.
That's what I know. I catch, and I'm like, oh yeah. But then I think like it'd be really sad if we didn't have kids, because we have so much to teach them, and I've learned so much.
I think you're meant to be a mother. I can see that. I feel like, yeah.
And my husband's sperm is Superman sperm. It lives for 5 days after. So he's like, it's just me. But yeah.
But can you love and accept yourself for who you are too? I think that's a part of it too, of like,
and I was scared of people. I know you shouldn't worry about judge, like, oh, well, it doesn't look like, I don't know, because people are mean and
weird. But like my kid is like blonde, and I've had people ask me too. They're like,
yeah, I saw a picture of you guys. Yeah, I know.
It's like he just looks like, he's just, I was a vessel for a child that looks like my husband, right? And there's a lot of us out there like that, I mean, so, and all my friends I was telling you about that did the donor, they actually look just like her. They look just like her.
Okay. Maybe it'll be
you guys on Instagram too.
Christmas miracle.
Oh, well, so you have to keep us posted, because I feel like, and I still would, I would treat your body as if like you're about to be pregnant. You know what I mean? So you want to do the same things and nourish and support. I
have your book. Yes, you can get pregnant. Do you think the other book would be better, or
no? I mean, you could, like premature ovarian failure. There is some people that talk about the early onset, like, is it an autoimmune type of thing? You could kind of do a mix of both and see, or give Body Belief a read and take the parts of that resonate with you. But
Yeah.
I think the Yes You Can Get Pregnant diet would be, supportive of what you're trying to achieve. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks
Okay.
thanks for doing these, and
Oh, of
I
course.
wish
Well,
you
thank
the
you for
best
having the
too.
courage to come on and share. I think
Yeah.
it's, I always say like sharing lifts the shame. And so know that too, like this conversation between us, like you've just helped someone else make a decision. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Maybe I'm not a big social media person, but maybe if I do a baby and it's out and healthy, then I'll post the story because I
There we
get
go.
scared
There we
to
go.
jinx it. Yeah.
There we go.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thanks,
Thank you, my
Aimee.
love. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was so beautiful. I got all emotional at the end. Yeah, they're yours no matter what. You're going to be a mama. That's how I feel. I feel really confident for Becky. I think sometimes that's what we need. We just need permission to like not be mad at ourselves, to accept that we have given it our best, and that like these other options, whether it's some women it's like doing a fertility treatment, some women it's donor, some women it's surrogate, some women it's saying, I think I'm done trying. It's all these different things. Or some women it's trying again after 4 miscarriages and being scared as fuck to get pregnant again. Sometimes we just need permission to keep at it or to change course, right? And I have to hang up on you guys. Usually I stay on and answer questions, but I actually have a call right now at 2:30. So I know that my team was in here and answering some of the questions, and if there's some that need my attention, I'll just come back through and answer them in the comments below. Okay. But I love you guys and I thank you for tuning in. And it was such a beautiful story. Thank you, Becky, so much. All right. Talk to you.